All right, hey everybody, back with another news feed here for you. This one, big one. This one is huge, and it is more than a $165 million penalty. That's irrelevant. We don't care about that, but there is a bigger thing at stake here. Okay, a precedent-setting something that we're excited about. But from AP News, Ford agrees to pay $165 million in penalty to U.S. government for moving too slowly on a recall. This is huge, and I don't care about the recall. This is huge, though. So what happened here? So Ford will pay a penalty of $165 million to the U.S. government for moving too slowly on a recall and failing to give accurate recall information. Okay, the agency said Ford was too slow to recall vehicles with faulty rear view cameras, and it failed to give the agency complete information, which is required by Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Act. Ford agreed, and they are going to pay $65 million and then $45 million in spending to comply with the law, and another $55 million will be deferred. Timely and accurate recalls are critical to keep everyone moving safe on our roads, NHTSA Deputy Administrator Sophie Schulman said. When manufacturers fail to prioritize the safety of the American public to meet their obligations under federal law, NHTSA will hold them accountable. Okay, love this. Under the order, an independent third party will oversee the automaker's recall performance obligations for at least 3 years, and Ford has to cooperate with the monitor. Okay, NHTSA is going to provide a monitor to watch them handle their recalls. Ford also has to review all recalls over the last 3 years to make sure enough vehicles have been recalled and file new recalls if necessary. Ford said it'll invest $45 million into advancing data analytics, a new document system, and a new testing lab. The company must also review and change its recall decision-making process, improving the way it analyzes data to find safety defects in its vehicles, and it also has to invest in technology so it can trace parts by vehicle identification numbers. There's a lot happening here. Okay, this is a big deal. NHTSA has come down hard on Ford. Bam, like drop the hammer on them here. The problematic recall of more than 620,000 vehicles in the U.S., 700,000 in North America in September for rear view cameras that failed on several 2020 models, including F-Series pickups. The agency said Ford filed warranty claims about the faulty cameras in February. Matter was brought to Ford committee in May of this year. Said in July, NHTSA was contacted Ford about complaints it received from failing cameras during this time. Ford showed data of many 2020 models with high camera failure rates. The company did its recall in September. NHTSA began investigating quickly because it said it didn't do it quick enough, and it didn't include enough of the vehicles that were necessary. This is a very big deal. Okay, and then it also, remember, earlier this year, this one we talked about in full detail, NHTSA opened an investigation into Ford SUV recall repair that doesn't fix gas leaks that can cause engine fires. Okay, on April 20th, the letter found that it significant safety concerns about the recall of nearly 43,000 Bronco Sports and Escapes SUVs. Ford said in its documents the fuel injector can crack, allowing gas vapors to leak near hot engine parts, potentially causing fires and injuries. But here was the kicker, remember? To fix this, it added a drain tube to send gas away from hot surfaces and software to cut the fuel supply if it defected a leak. Okay, NHTSA said this was stupid. We're not tolerating this. This is an insignificant fix that does not do what it needs to. It believes that the remedy, right here, believes that the remedy program does not address the root cause of the issue and does not proactively call for replacement of defective fuel injectors prior to their failure. Okay, Ford is in a world of trouble with all of this right now. They're in a bad place with how all of this is working. This benefits us tremendously. Okay, we know that Ford is notorious for taking way too long to do fixes, recalls, or anything you got. Parts are always on back order. Everything is an issue with this stuff. If you have something go down, it's 6 months to get a new part in. Look at the stuff that happened with the Broncos, the F-150s, the transmission modules, everything that's going on, and how long it takes Ford to get around to fixing it. Yes, they say, we'll fix it, but then they almost never do. It just takes them forever to do it. And this is tired of it, and they're cracking down on it. This is a good thing for us. Okay, Ford, you know, they say in here, we're look forward to complying. We're looking forward to working with NHTSA and an independent third party to implement further enhancements. No, you're not. Not at all. You're very pissed off that you got busted is what you are. But the whole world sees this. Hopefully, this kicks in now. Hopefully, when Toyota, for example, realizes that Ford just had to pay $165 million in penalties to the U.S. government for moving too slowly on a recall, well, let's look at Toyota. Toyota has to replace 102,000 engines in the Tundras, and it hasn't done anything yet. This was back in July. We knew about this earlier in July. What is that? August, September, October, November. We're almost 6 months into this and nobody's got anything done yet. We just found out last week that Toyota has got their game plan in order on how they're going to do this. They developed a new lift that goes to the dealerships that will now let them remove the motor out of the Tundra without having to take the cab off. They developed new tools to do it. They've got the motors shipped in a crate that will ship the motors to the dealers. Then the dealers will put the old motor in there and they will ship them back to Toyota. We got all this stuff sorted out, but 6 months. And we got nothing happening here on these Toyotas. Okay, there's people in the comments that have Toyotas that are dead in the water and they're waiting for something to happen. Again, 6 months into this and nobody has got anything done at all yet. Hopefully, NHTSA is going to start riding their boat. What about the transmission? Same thing. Toyota, the Tacoma with the transmission problem. Again, remember how they told us? Could take 6 months. Could be beginning of the year before they get around to getting this stuff fixed. Sorry, hang on. Making a lot of videos today. His old voice is starting to go. But we knew that this was all happening. Hopefully, with this precedent that's getting set here with Ford, Toyota will start moving quicker on this stuff. What about this one right here too? We got, same with Honda. Okay, these companies think that they can get away with stuff. NHTSA is starting to crack down on them. Okay, this 1.4 million, this U.S. regulators investigating whether engines on 1.4 million Hondas might fail. This happened because Honda didn't recall the motors the right way. Okay, they didn't do it. Okay, 2018 through 2020 Odysseys, the Ridgeline, the Pilot, all these kind of things. Okay, well, they recalled some of them in there, 250,000 of them in there to fix the problem. But the agency said it's had 173 complaints from owners who reported connecting rod bearing failures, yet their vehicles were not included in the recall. Okay, this is the stuff that they're not tolerating. No, Honda, you did not expand this big enough. You're leaving people hanging. And like I said, hopefully what just happened to Ford, and Ford having to pay this fine of $165 million to the U.S. government, will let these companies know they cannot get away with this anymore. No more super long delays on backorder parts. No more taking forever to get your recalls done. No more sitting and playing games trying to figure out how you're going to do it instead of just getting stuff happening. Well, this has all been going on. They could have been replacing some of these already. Same with this. There's no reason for it. There's no acceptable excuse for you to say, we don't have the parts available to do this when you're still producing parts. What that means is that you are putting profit of new vehicle sales over taking care of the people that have already bought your product, okay? And it's unacceptable. You got to start pulling parts out of parts bins and getting things to people that need them, and this stuff is out of hand now. I really do hope that what the government and what NHTSA just did to Ford it scares the bejesus out of these other manufacturers, and they are going to start stepping this up so we as consumers no longer have to suffer from this. It is disgusting what we have to deal with in order to get a car fixed under a recall today. It's simply disgusting, and we're fed up with it, and hopefully this changes everything around. I want your comments down below. Let me know what you're thinking on the whole thing. Thanks for watching.